Alright guys, welcome back on Facecam. The beard has grown back. Might look a little scraggly, but it is what it is. Also, excuse the massively oversized Foy Coco shirt. I bought it as a joke and I had to wear it to a video at least once. We have a reading log. The beard's back, so I can do reading logs now. This one is from January all the way until now, which is May 9th. It's not a lot of books considering how much time has gone by, but I had a bunch of reading slumps. I'm currently like in a really good reading mindset because I put stuff on hold that was draining me and picked up a series with my friend. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's start off with, so I guess I picked off all the volumes in one order, so I gotta do in reverse. So we gotta do one of the worst things I've read in a while, which is this, Beyond the Promised Neverland. So this is a clickbait book. It's short stories, stuff that the creators made before or during, and it was like stuff that didn't really get published or got published later on, or was just short stories. There's only like 20 pages that is actually anything to do with the Promised Neverland, so it's mega clickbait. But yeah, I should have just looked on the cover. It doesn't really have the character. It has some of the characters, but it also has a bunch of different ones that I've never seen before. So definitely do not recommend this. I mean, if you're a massive fan of the Promised Neverland, pick it up, I guess, to show support, but it doesn't add anything to that story. So it is what it is. Next up on the list, actually, let's get these out of the way. These are audiobooks / ebooks I don't have on hand right now. So I had Brother Band 2, I think that's called Outcasts, which is very good. It's part of the whole Royal Rangers universe. Great middle grade fantasy series, and I haven't actually read a ton of them this year, but I read that one. Then we had Overlord audiobook 1. It was okay. Talented narrator, very good production for sure, but what can I say? It's Overlord. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst I've ever consumed either. And then lastly, and definitely least on this list, is Smartphone Isekai, volumes 1 and 2. Sorry, I dropped my note. Don't read that. Don't bother. I don't know why it has so many volumes. It's the most generic isekai I've ever experienced, which says a lot because I'm kind of an isekai connoisseur, but it is what it is. Definitely take my word for it. It's not worth it unless you really want something that's completely brain dead and a waste of money. Yeah, and then next up, actually let's do a couple more books. So I did 3 Witcher books, and then I'm taking a break right now. I jumped back into the Cosmere, but we'll talk about that later. So I read The Last Wish, Sword of Destiny, and also the first of the short story ones, Blood of Elves. I had a great time with these. I did audiobooks and physical books, mainly audiobooks at work, and the audiobooks were really good. I really enjoyed the first short story book, and then the second one, it was good, but I was getting tired of having these small narratives. But I really enjoyed the first like fully fledged novel. Really enjoyed that. It was a great time. Then we have something I forgot to bring, which is Succubus and Hitman. If you've been on the channel, you might have heard me talk about it. It's a very edgy, horny series. A lot of action, a lot of gore. It's very dark. Definitely some trigger warnings in there, but it's okay. It's nothing special. Let's see here. Next up, I finished Golden Kamuy, Kamui, whatever. The last volume, volume 31, came out, so I finished volume 29, 30, and 31, and had a blast. I read them in one sitting, and that was also really a high in my reading. It's also something I finished rather recently, but it's very good. Definitely one of my top series in my collection, and I highly recommend to anyone who's trying to get into seinen. There were a couple moments in 31 that was like, okay, how did that happen? But it works. It works. What can I say? It's a great series. Let me put these back. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but the background has changed. So I've added more shelves to the library. We'll be adding more eventually, but yeah, the background's changed. Stuff has moved around. Added a big billy instead of the little small black shelves. But yeah, this one will be replaced with a new billy. This is the old model with the old studs, so it can't really be compatible with any of the other ones. But yeah, that was a tangent. Right, next up we have Mashal volumes 13, 14, and 15. Great time. Mashal's great fun. I'm glad it's not staying. It's overstaying its welcome. That it's a relatively short series. I was getting a bit tired of not having Mash around volume 14, but then volume 15 he came swinging back with all his Mash might. So it was a great time. Very funny moments. It definitely has a similar humor to One Punch Man or Mob Psycho. Definitely see that Hajime Komodo took a lot of inspirations from One, which is fantastic. One is one of my favorite in the sphere. So then I also read The Gunslinger. This was actually a reread. I wanted to get more into Stephen King, and I remember reading this at a time where it's probably a bit too young and not too, my comprehension of English wasn't as good as it is now, but rereading it and doing it in audiobook, switching between them was very good. It definitely helps when you're reading a second language, but it was definitely better than the first time I remember, and I really want to continue it. Right. Can't do that one right now. Can't do that one. Oh, I don't have this book here actually. That's a digital only. Metro 2035. I've written down here. The first 80% of the book was absolutely so weird. It was very different. Well, it wasn't different, but it was just it took a very lovable character from book 1 and completely messed it up, and then in the last 20%. That character came back and actually it became a good book. The ending was actually really good, but the first 80% ruined the rest of the book. Not a big recommendation, but definitely it was. I don't regret reading it, that's for sure. Next up, I did the first 3 light novels of Konosuba. Light novel volume 1, 2, and 3, and what can I say? It's Konosuba. This is a top tier isekai, which I know for a lot of people doesn't really mean a lot, but Konosuba is one of the ones that even people who hate isekai can enjoy this, just because it's the comedy is so well written. But definitely highly recommend that. One of my favorites, and I need to pick up the rest. And also the audiobooks are very good. A very good time. And then I did 3 Rascal Does Not Dream Of books. So we did volume 5, Sister Home Alone, and volume 6, which is A Dreaming Girl, and 7, I believe, First Love. And man, these made me cry. I cried like a little something. I was crying snot just because that was so good. If you're not really into the novels, I'd say check out the manga. The 3rd omnibus recently came out, but I love the anime, but the anime is... I watched the movie for Dreaming Girl, and it was basically like highlight reels of the story. The novel is the way to go, in my opinion, and if you don't want to read the physical novels, they're doing very, very good audiobooks. Yen Press Audio is really killing it with the audiobooks. They're doing a very good job hiring voice actors that know their craft very, very well. Here we have the book that almost killed my my reading. This put me in a reading slump. Don't Call It Mystery, Volume Omnibus 1, which is Volume 1 and 2. It's actually really good. I really enjoyed this one, but I don't know, it takes me like 2 hours to get through one of these, and normally I do this in like an hour max, but I don't know what it is, if it's just because like it's a mystery, so you're thinking, oh, like you're trying to solve the issues and so on, and then it comes out of left field and some random stuff comes. It's definitely not written for me. I'm not wired to understand this. This is a josei title, I believe, so I'm not the demographic, but I'm definitely really enjoying it. But it's also something that I need to be in the mood for, and I am in the middle of Omnibus 2, and I am glad I took a break to read something else, just because I needed a break. I was getting stuck in this mystery series, and it's not bad by any means. It was just not the right moment for me. I will get back to it. I finished this one, and this was really good. The first half was a reread. I read it when it was first announced, just to check it out, because it was all over Twitter when I was still kind of getting a lot of tweets from the shoujo josei community. But I'd recommend it if you're in the market for something that is a very good mystery with... I'm not a big fan of the art, I gotta be completely honest, but it's a good mystery series. It's not action by any means or anything, but it has some comedy. Sometimes it's a bit random, but maybe I'm just not catching the whole point of some of the things that's being said. But definitely a recommendation if you're in the market for a mystery series that's a bit more grown up. Right, we have Die Dark, Volume 6. What can I say about Die Dark? I mean, the art is fantastic. I am not farting, it is my chair. Just, yeah. It needs oil. Volume 6 of Die Dark, I've said here, I really love the series. Even if I have zero, I have no clue where the story is going. No clue. But I'm here, I'm in for the entire ride, and I'll be following this for the next 20 years or so, because that's most likely how long this will take to finish. Blue Exorcist Volume 28, my favorite manga. It's been so long since I read this. I read it in like February or something like that, so I can't really remember what's going on. Just know that oh yeah, we're in the middle of a big battle, so there's a lot of action, a lot of fantastic art, and the series is coming to an end, and it's been a fun ride. I'm here for it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Right, then we have... Actually, let's do this one first. So I jumped back into the Cosmere with Warbreaker, and from this point on, I am either going to do Mistborn Era 2, or I'm gonna start my journey through Stormlight. Not completely sure yet, but I enjoyed Warbreaker. It left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, because I know it's a standalone at this point with potential sequels in the future, but it definitely feels like a book that needs to be elaborated on, just because the characters only really developed in like this part of the book. And exaggeration, but some of the characters were very, very frustrating. And then some of my the character I really enjoyed, Ciri, was actually a lot more annoying towards the end. She kind of regressed, whereas the character who was like super annoying in the beginning, became really good in that. It was a bit frustrating. You could definitely tell it was one of his earlier works, and I don't regret reading it. I'm going to be reading the entire Cosmere, and this felt like a safe place to jump back in after having finished Elantris and Era 1 of Mistborn. So I'm keep exploring the Cosmere and see where it goes. I actually ordered 3 Cosmere books just today, just to finish the collection. But yeah. And next up, a book that I really enjoyed, and it's become one of my favorites, is The Lies of Locke Lamora. I haven't continued with the series yet, but I really enjoyed this. This was basically if you followed a bunch of Kelsius around on his like little mischievous endeavors in a very interesting city, and it's very low fantasy. Like it had magic and it had like weird creatures and stuff, but it wasn't in your face. This was definitely much more about the plot and the characters than it was the world, which I kind of enjoyed. I really enjoyed the characters, and this really got at me with some of the decisions that was made about characters, and it definitely showed me that that grimdark fantasy is brutal, which YA fantasy and middle grade fantasy is very forgiving, but this stuff is not. But I really enjoyed this. Lies of Locke Lamora gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Alright, let's see what we have here. So I read the first 2 volumes of Heartgear. This is by the creator who made one of my favorite cancelled series. I should have it somewhere. Black Torch is nowhere to be found. Well, Black Torch, but this is a longer ongoing series. Actually, I think it went on like a very long hiatus and then it came back, but these first 2 volumes were great. The art is fantastic, character designs are cool, the world is interesting. I mean, very talented mangaka for sure, and I'll be sticking around to see where this goes. I have volume 3 on my nightstand right now. And then we have Call of the Night, another one that I'm absolutely blown away by. Volumes 14 and 15. Some beautiful covers, and yeah, I'm not even sure what I wrote down because I said a good in between. So volume 14 was kind of a setup volume, like in between arcs, stuff has to get started, and then wait, sorry, I thought the cameras. Volume 15, where did I put that? I just wrote I love this manga so much, so this is definitely middle of like the plot is getting thick and there's a bunch of stuff going on and like reveals and so on. Don't want to spoil anything, just gonna say I had a really good time with this. One of my like favorite series I have in my collection right now. I said that about a bunch of this stuff, but you gotta enjoy what you're collecting. If you don't, then why are you in the hobby? The Summer Hikaru Died, this was an eerie read. I really enjoyed it. It was not something I would have picked up if I hadn't been recommended it by my fellow manga tubers, but it was creepy and really made me uncomfortable at points, but I also like really enjoyed it. It was definitely a thrill to read, and I'm here for it. I just got volume 3, and it's right now it's being flattened between some Blade of the Immortal deluxe editions just because it got damaged in the mail, but yeah, definitely enjoyed this one. Volume I didn't enjoy, however, is Yokohama Station SF Volume 3. Don't bother with this. It's a 3-volume, like, nothing series. Read the novel. Don't bother with this. I thought it was gonna be like a longer sci-fi series, but it was just 3 volumes. Right. A couple of horny series here. We got Rise of the Ultimate Ezra and Katko, Volume 3, and Witches of Adamas, Volume 7. Not much to say there. It's fantasy, it's ecchi. We're not really there for the plot, are we? Something that we are there for the plot for is Welcome Back Alice Volume 5. Super thrilling, like, slice of life drama series that I've seen a few people drop it, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really excited that I just got Volume 6 recently to read, so I'm enjoying this one. This is my first Oshimi work, and if this is like one of the worst ones, then I am really looking forward to getting into some of his more like critically acclaimed works. And then we have volumes 6 through 9 of Blue Lock. I think the majority of these were already covered in the anime. Let's see what I wrote. Good action, stuff covered by the anime, so like there was nothing new. Volume 8, it was really exciting, and I finished in like 20 minutes just because I couldn't put it down. And then Volume 9 really caught my attention, so I say that, but I barely remember what happens in Volumes 8 and 9, so until I jump, the thing is, when I jump back into the next volume, I'll remember, but it's been such a long time since I've read any Blue Lock, but I remember enjoying the new stuff and just being kind of fed up with reading stuff I'd already watched. But definitely not a bad series, very overhyped, but it is what it is. And then here we have, I took a long break from manhwa, but I read volumes 3 and 4 of Tomb Raider King, solo leveling, but the main character is cocky and an asshole. That's all I have to say about Tomb Raider King. $20 per volume. Do with that information what you will. Here we have my fix of Rag. I read volumes 22 and 23. Some nice covers. If you've read Rag, any amount of Rag is more the same. Just different locales, more characters, more drama. It's okay. It's nothing special, but it's dumb fun and basically reality TV in manga form. And last but not least, the thing that really saved my ass right now in terms of reading is Full Metal Alchemist volumes 1 through 6. One of my best friends, her boyfriend is making her read Full Metal Alchemist, and she asked me to join, and I said, you know what, I've been meaning to read this for so long. I am not enjoying what I'm currently reading. That's not completely true. I am not in the mood for what I'm currently reading, so I was not reading a lot. But I finished these 6 volumes in like half a day, so I forgot how much stuff happens in just the 4 first volumes. Like, it's crazy. The anime made it seem so dragged out, especially the original anime. But so many important like points that people keep bringing up when they talk about Fullmetal Alchemist happens in the first 4 volumes. I'm like, I thought these were more spread out, but I guess not. But I've been really enjoying it, and I'm only not reading anymore because we want to read it, you know, like do a read along. So I'm already 4 volumes ahead. I couldn't help myself, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's all I read since January, at least that I can remember that I wrote down. There might have been some things that I not noted down, some audiobooks, but I should really get back to doing these monthly, or at least bi-monthly, just because I can't remember like half of these things, because it's been like, what, half a year? So I'll try to be better at doing these. I might do a spreadsheet of stuff to do like monthly instead of doing it in my notes app, just because my notes app gets a bit crowded. But yeah, that's all I have for this time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe there's something in here that you forgot was around, or maybe you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on what I read. I don't know. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like, subscribe, stick around for more videos to come. Currently uploading a haul, so that will be out before this, but we're back to doing content. Check out my TikTok. I'm doing almost daily TikToks. Right now I'm discovering my favorite covers for every single manga collection in my for every single manga series in my collection, and I have done roughly 25 videos, a couple bonus ones in there, so bunch of stuff. And I do manga challenges, I do anime, streetwear hauls over there, bunch of stuff that I don't really feel like fit in on this channel, but definitely does okay on TikTok. So go over there on my TikTok, check out my Instagram. My Instagram isn't very active, but my TikTok is where it's at right now. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll stick around. See you guys in the next video.